Most older adults are never told this clearly, but after the age of 65, muscle does not respond to food the same way it did years earlier. That is one of the main reasons so many seniors say they are eating reasonably well, and yet still feel weaker, less steady, and more fragile than before. Their legs begin to look thinner, their strength fades more quickly, and recovery takes longer than expected. This is not simply a matter of poor discipline or lack of effort, it is a biological change known as anabolic resistance, a condition in which aging muscle becomes less responsive to the signals that normally trigger growth and repair. In practical terms, even when an older adult eats eggs, chicken, or other protein-rich foods, the body may not activate muscle-building pathways as effectively as it once did. What makes this especially important is that certain seeds appear to offer something unique in this stage of life. Researchers have been studying edible seeds for years, not only for their protein content, but also for the minerals, fatty acids, and bioactive compounds they contain. Some of these seeds may help support muscle protein synthesis in aging adults in ways that go beyond what many people expect from conventional protein sources alone. Among them, one seed in particular stands out because of the way it may support pathways involved in preserving muscle later in life. Before going further, it is worth asking a simple question. How old are you? Where are you watching from? And how has your health been lately? Those details matter because aging does not look the same for everyone, and many older adults are dealing with more than just muscle loss. Still, understanding how nutrition changes after 60, 70, or 75 can make a real difference in maintaining strength and independence. The fifth seed on this list is quinoa. Many people think of quinoa as a grain, but botanically it is actually a seed. That distinction matters less than what it offers nutritionally. Quinoa is one of the rare plant foods considered a complete protein, meaning it contains all 9 essential amino acids. For older adults, this is especially useful because aging muscle does not handle incomplete proteins as efficiently. One of the key amino acids involved in turning on muscle repair is leucine, and older adults usually require a stronger leucine signal than younger people to stimulate muscle protein synthesis. Quinoa contains leucine along with other important amino acids, such as lysine and methionine in a balanced profile. Another reason quinoa deserves attention is digestion. As people age, stomach acid production may decrease, digestive enzymes may become less effective, and protein tolerance can shift. Even when eggs remain an excellent food, they may not always be processed with the same efficiency they once were. Quinoa protein is often well tolerated and easier for some older adults to digest. It also provides magnesium, a mineral essential for muscle contraction, energy production, and nerve signaling. These functions are critical when the goal is not only preserving muscle mass, but also maintaining balance and coordination. How quinoa is prepared matters. It should be rinsed thoroughly to remove its natural bitter coating, then cooked until soft and fully digestible. One practical way to use it is to combine a cup of cooked quinoa with yogurt, eggs, or a lean protein source. The goal is not to replace animal protein, but to strengthen the overall nutritional signal that supports aging muscle. The fourth seed is pumpkin seed, and its role goes beyond protein. Muscle loss later in life is not only driven by low protein intake. Hormonal changes also play a part. With age, testosterone and growth hormone naturally decline, and even in women, small amounts of testosterone contribute to maintaining muscle and bone. Pumpkin seeds may help support this hormonal environment because they are rich in zinc and magnesium, 2 minerals that tend to be suboptimal in many older adults. Zinc is necessary for testosterone production, while magnesium supports muscle function, recovery, sleep quality, and inflammation control. This becomes increasingly relevant after 60, when chronic low-grade inflammation can quietly interfere with the body's ability to maintain muscle tissue. Pumpkin seeds also contain gamma-tocopherol, a specific form of vitamin E associated with protection against oxidative stress. That matters because oxidative stress can damage muscle tissue over time, making repair slower and less efficient. The way pumpkin seeds are eaten can influence their benefit. Raw seeds contain compounds that may make digestion more difficult, so lightly roasting them or soaking them overnight may improve tolerance. Grinding them can help even more by making their nutrients easier to absorb. A simple daily habit could be adding a couple of tablespoons of ground pumpkin seeds to oatmeal, yogurt, or cooked vegetables. This kind of strategy may quietly improve mineral intake while supporting the body's overall muscle maintenance environment. The third seed is hemp seed, and this is where protein density becomes more impressive. Hemp seeds provide a relatively high amount of protein for a small serving, but what makes them especially valuable is how digestible that protein appears to be. Hemp contains proteins such as edestin and albumin, and edestin is often noted for being highly digestible and structurally compatible with the human body. In older adults, where digestion becomes less efficient, that matters a great deal. Protein quality is important, but protein usability may be even more important. Hemp seeds also contain all essential amino acids and offer a useful balance of omega-3 and omega-6 fats. This is significant because chronic inflammation is one of the hidden enemies of healthy aging muscle. When inflammation remains elevated, repair becomes more difficult, and muscle tissue is more likely to decline. Omega-3 fats are known for helping create a less inflammatory environment, and studies have suggested that in older adults, omega-3 support may enhance muscle protein synthesis when combined with physical activity. Hemp seeds provide alpha-linolenic acid, a plant-based omega-3 which contributes to that benefit. Because these fats are delicate, hemp seeds are best added raw, rather than exposed to high heat. They work well in smoothies, yogurt, or cooled oatmeal. A practical approach would be to divide a daily serving into 2 portions, one earlier in the day and one after light exercise or movement. For aging muscles, consistency often matters more than intensity. The second seed is chia, and its greatest strength may be the way it changes digestion, rather than the speed of its protein delivery. Muscle breakdown does not occur only during exercise. It also happens between meals, especially when amino acid levels in the bloodstream drop too low. This becomes more important with age because older muscles are less responsive and more vulnerable to the effects of stress hormones. Chia seeds can help because when they are soaked, they form a gel-like texture that slows digestion and supports a steadier release of nutrients over time. That slower release may help reduce the periods when the body is more likely to break down muscle tissue. In addition to protein, chia seeds provide fiber, calcium, magnesium, and omega-3 fats. Calcium is necessary for muscle contraction, magnesium supports relaxation and recovery, and omega-3 fats may help reduce inflammation that interferes with repair. In other words, chia supports more than one aspect of muscle health at once. Preparation is simple. 2 tablespoons mixed with water or unsweetened almond milk and allowed to soak for at least 20 minutes can create a pudding-like texture that improves digestibility. This can be taken between meals or later in the evening to provide more sustained nutritional support overnight when muscle repair processes remain active. Many older adults still focus only on protein at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But spacing nutritional support across the day may be one way to work around anabolic resistance. The number 1 seed is flax, and this is where the discussion becomes especially interesting. Flax seeds do provide protein, but that alone is not why they rank first. Their real advantage lies in their lignans, plant compounds that have been studied for their influence on inflammation, metabolic balance, and hormone-related processes. Since aging muscle is affected not only by protein intake, but also by inflammation and hormonal decline, flax offers a more strategic type of support. Flax is also rich in alpha-linolenic acid, another plant-based omega-3 fat associated with healthier muscle function and reduced wasting in older populations. This combination of anti-inflammatory support and metabolic benefit may help create a more favorable internal environment for preserving strength with age. However, one crucial detail is often missed. Whole flax seeds are not enough. If they are eaten whole, many of them pass through the digestive system without releasing their nutrients. They need to be ground. That is why ground flaxseed meal is the better option, whether bought pre-ground or prepared fresh at home. It should be stored in the refrigerator to reduce oxidation. A simple routine would be to mix 2 tablespoons into yogurt, oatmeal, or even warm water in the morning. This provides fiber, omega-3 support, and added nutritional value alongside the main protein source of the meal. By itself, it is not a miracle, but when combined with adequate protein, resistance exercise, and daily movement, it may help support long-term muscle preservation in a practical way. The larger point is this: eggs are not the problem, and animal protein is not the enemy. The real issue is that aging muscle needs more help than it used to. It needs stronger signaling, better nutrient timing, and a more supportive internal environment. Quinoa, pumpkin seeds, hemp seeds, chia seeds, and flax seeds each offer something slightly different, whether it is complete amino acids, digestible protein, mineral support, omega-3 fats, or anti-inflammatory compounds. Together, they may complement traditional protein sources and help aging adults respond more effectively. And this matters for a reason far more important than appearance. Building or preserving muscle after 75 is not about chasing aesthetics. It is about daily function. It is about being able to rise from a chair without help, climb stairs with more confidence, catch yourself before a fall, and continue living with dignity and independence. Strength in later life is not vanity, it is protection. At the same time, this topic should be approached responsibly. This information is for educational purposes only and should not be taken as personal medical advice. Anyone with kidney disease, diabetes, heart conditions, digestive issues, prostate concerns, or prescription medications should speak with a healthcare professional before making major dietary changes. Individual medical history always matters. What we covered here is simple but important. Aging muscle becomes less responsive to protein because of anabolic resistance. Certain seeds may help by providing amino acids, minerals, omega-3 fats, and other compounds that support muscle signaling and reduce barriers such as inflammation. But the real key is not any single ingredient. It is consistency. When the body is given the right signals repeatedly, it can still adapt, even later in life. Muscles do not become useless with age. They simply require a more thoughtful approach.